Hello, everyone. I'm back again with my friend Matt here. And Matt has been so kind as to come on the channel and tell everyone his story about what many of you out there are going to understand as the female narcissist. And but furthermore, the most important part of your story, Matt, I believe, is how you're going to encourage a lot of other men out there that they don't have to live this way and they can get out no matter how afraid you may be or how that doesn't seem possible. And I just thank you so much for coming on the channel because yeah, we've been working together now I don't know, about 8 months or so, I'd say. And I just see from beginning to end what a difference and just how far you have come. And I'm just so excited to have you on the channel. Guys, before I forget, my friend who watches my channel and is actually the one that did all the web design for me and the merchandise and all that, she kind of handed it to me over the weekend and she's like, Tracy, you don't announce this stuff enough. And she's right. And I hate doing it. And she's right that I have to do it. So I just want to remind everyone, and I'm going to probably start saying it more and more in my videos. I do take people for one-to-one coaching every day. That means I try to go around your schedule. I also take people that are, going through a really rough time, a rough day. As we know, this is how narcissistic abuse happens. You happen to be doing really well and you're having a really bad day. And that's a part of my services that I don't announce enough that I do. So please keep me in mind, tracefaceit@gmail.com. I still am the most affordable coach I know of. My accountant tells me all the time that I'm ridiculous, but I am not trying to do this to make a lot of money. I want to do this to try and help as many people as possible. And that's what I'm doing. And don't forget also that my merch now is displayed underneath all of my videos. I didn't know how to do that before, or I think the YouTube features changed. And so there's a whole bunch of merch you can buy that will help support the channel as well. Well, anyway, okay, I'm done blabbermouthing. Matt, thanks again for being here. And yeah, I wondered if you maybe start the story and maybe telling how you guys met and maybe where you were at in life when she came around or wherever you would like to start.
Absolutely. And again, thank you, Tracy. I met my wife right around 2014. We rekindled something that we had from high school. I knew her from high school. And at that time in my life, I had just gotten out of a relationship with my ex-fiance at the time and was single for almost 2 years and rekindled meeting and dating, for about 2 years with my wife. We started going on some dates. And for a while, we started getting very serious with each other. And it felt really good. I'm with a very attractive woman, and also she had 3 children. And, I wanted to be a father. I wanted to be a husband. I wanted to completely settle down and have a family. And I thought God had brought that into my life with my wife, Laura. And over the course of time of dating, we were getting really serious. I was getting very in tune with the kids and getting very close with them. And I decided then to propose to her. And I did it the very traditional way. I spoke with her dad and asking her dad for permission to marry his daughter, and also asking her mother. And they gave me their blessing. And they saw that I was a Christian man. They saw that I had a good head on my shoulders, and they saw that I had my stuff together, should we say. Had a very good career in painting and running a painting business. So we married, had a beautiful wedding. And, for the very first year, things were great. It was still the honeymoon phase. And I would say probably about a year and a half after we were married is when I started to notice some things change. I started noticing her changing by, her phone, her behavior with her phone. So it then dawned on me, I started looking into her phone and started noticing that she was messaging and talking with another man. And it was brought to light that that was the first time she had cheated on me.
It was about
And
how long into the marriage, Matt? Can you repeat that? I'm
about a
sorry.
year and a half, about a year and a half into the marriage is when she first cheated on me.
Sounds
And
about right.
you yeah, it was a year and a half into the marriage that she first cheated on me. And we then, it was very hard. You know, it took a toll on the family. And she didn't want to admit it at first. She wanted to hide it completely because she did not want to be judged for what she did. And she didn't want to have the judgment from her parents or from anyone in the family. But I threatened her with divorce, and I um, threatened her with leaving, and told her, if you don't fess up and tell your parents, I'm gone. And if we don't work this out, I'm gone. And she had no choice, and she broke down and admitted to her parents. Her parents were very upset. And, you know, we didn't do counseling, unfortunately. We did work on our marriage, you know, talking to each other and things like that, how you should do. And, you know, things were going pretty well, you know, for the next couple of years. And just a typical married couple with kids, you know, with regular problems, you know, paying bills and taking care of things around the house and getting the kids to activities. It wasn't about 2 years prior to us separating that I noticed a change in her behavior. You know, she started demanding more money out of me. She started acting as if, you know, she wanted to have this high and mighty champagne lifestyle, wants to drive a $60,000 vehicle, wants to have the Louis Vuitton purse, wants to have all the nice high end expensive stuff.
Mhm.
And, you know, at the time, you know, she's working, you know, as a waitress, you know, and I'm running a painting business, working 16, 17 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. Sometimes I would work a couple of days straight, depending on the project. And most of my projects, I want to say 90% of all my projects, I did by myself. And these are not, you know, just your typical, you know, paint a bedroom a day type thing. These are full blown, full scale projects where I'm doing full interior repaints, such as the ceilings, the walls, the closets, the baseboards, everything 100%.
Right.
And these are not small homes. These are not no 1,000 square foot homes. These are your typical middle class to higher class homes, anywhere in the ranging between 2,500 to at most 7,000 square feet, single to two-story homes. And I would do interior and exterior. Some I would even do commercial businesses. So I'm out there by myself, fully painting these homes and businesses. And usually each project I would be done within 5 to 7 days by myself. Sometimes I would have an extra hand. I would hire a little bit of help to do it. And I was roughly bringing in very good money, anywhere between 2,000 to sometimes at most, depending on after paying things off, $3,000. So very good money coming in to take care of a 5-person family, and then having a nice, beautiful home and having the nice things in the home. And within that 2 year, things have changed a little bit with her behavior. You know, the way she would start to demasculate me, the way she would talk to me sometimes, and me being the Irish man that I am, you know, sometimes I would trigger me to retort negatively. And I don't want to be that way. I didn't want to be that way. But any man out there knows when a woman is pushing certain buttons, yelling and talking to him, or demasculating him a certain way, a man can only handle so much before he explodes.
Mhm.
And there has been countless times where, you know, I've snapped off and I didn't want to do it. And I did. And, you know, sometimes that's my fault for me not controlling my temper. But again, being triggered by doing that, by being yelled at or being talked to, and, you know, certain things where that, you know, she would always constantly complain every day. It's like, what do you have to complain about every day? You
Yeah.
know, I make very good money. You know, we have a good home. You know, the kids are doing very well. You would complain about everything if something doesn't go right your way. But guess what? In the real world, sometimes things don't go our merry way, and we have to put our big boy, big girl pants on and deal with it
Yeah.
and go about our lives.
Was she
And
just like taunt you like it was just constant nagging every day, Matt? Like just got to the point where she was just always finding something wrong or like, and when you say snap, you mean you yell back at her? You would just holler
Yes.
back and you get into you know, part of my language, a
We
pissing
get into
match.
an argument. Yeah.
Yeah,
It would then get into an argument. And, I admit, there is no such thing as the perfect husband or the perfect wife. I had my moments where I was a little disrespectful and I would say disrespectful things because, I would feel as if sometimes I'd have to defend myself.
right.
And again, we are both, meaning my wife, we both were not perfect in the marriage. We both said things to one another that we shouldn't have had. We both have raised our voice to each other when we shouldn't have had. Because yes, there is days that I've had that were bad days, just with what I had going on at work that would cause me to be, nasty and gruff. And I admit that,
Yeah.
but I didn't do things that were shocking to me. I didn't swindle money out of the account. I didn't hide money from her. I didn't take money from her or our kids. I didn't do anything like that. I
And
worked
this is
very
all
hard.
stuff she was doing, correct? She was doing
Correct.
things. You found out.
Correct. Yeah, I found out. And right before or right when the pandemic was hitting, my business had started to take a very significant downfall. A lot of clients were canceling left and right. And not wanting to have people in their home. People were not working as very much. And some people that were working in the office are now working from home, but are not making the amount of income they would if they were at the office. And I was presented with an opportunity from a very good friend of mine that lives down here in West Palm Beach. And he asked me to go into business with him. He had a renovation business and he was just getting it up off the ground, doing very successful, but didn't have the painting part of the business either. And that knack of being able to go out and meet with clients and wine and dine them and close the deals that I was able to do with certain homes and businesses that in the Bay Area that I worked. So I took an opportunity to do that. And I told like any husband that would, told my best friend, I said, listen, I got to talk this over with my wife. That's what a real husband does. Before he makes a rash decision or anything, he talks over with his wife. And I told Laura that I said, listen, I'm going to go work down in West Palm Beach. This is a huge opportunity for us. We ran the numbers on this because I came down for a weekend to see if this would make sense. We ran numbers like how you would do in business to see if something makes sense. And I told my wife, because she wasn't really thrilled about it. She, was not happy about it. We were already working on our marriage at that point because of certain things. And, I said, listen, the pandemic is hitting. I can't just go out and get a regular, like some junk job. We're going to fall behind very, very badly. And I'm looking at this as from the financial aspect. One, I made a vow to my wife. I made a vow to my kids, my family, and before God that I would do whatever, however it took to support my family. And that's the way I was looking at it.
Right.
And, I said, listen, let's try it out for a year. I'm home every weekend. It's not like I'm moving out of the state or I'm gone on a rotation like some businesses are,
This
where
was
I'm
an
gone for, a
opportunity.
month and a half. Yeah, it's an opportunity.
For you and your family. So you took it and yeah, right.
Absolutely. And I was still making very good money. We're getting the business up and running. We're doing very successful. And my wife fails to realize how things go in business, what you pay for when you're operating your own business, workman's comp, insurance, vehicles, an establishment to house the business, material, tools, equipment, payroll, paying a bookkeeper, paying accountants, things like that in order to make a business 100% legit. And not only that, having insurance in play so that way employees don't sue you, you don't get sued. There's things in play in motion for all that. So it costs money. Right. So during that time in the summertime, I came home. Or actually, I didn't come home. I had my wife down here for an anniversary. I had the kids down here for a little vacation. And that's when I noticed even more things. I had noticed her phone going off at 2 a.m. So anyone in their right mind is thinking, whether it's a husband or wife, why is my spouse's phone going off at 2 a.m? Is it, a family member that's possibly in the hospital? And then that's when I opened it up. It's a text message from a guy. And this is not my first rodeo with this experience with her. So then I became Mr. Detective and saw there was other messages from other guys. Since the day I came down here, she started messaging guys, and it was 4 different men. And there's pictures, and yeah, it was pretty bad. And I didn't confront her because we had the kids here, and I didn't want a huge argument in front of the children. And I also didn't want her driving back from West Palm up to the Tampa area, already upset and heated and angry with the children in the car. I'm thinking of the kids' safety, and I'm thinking of other stuff too. So the following weekend when I came back, I brought it to her parents' attention because, again, I know if I brought it to her attention, she's going to deny it. She's going to tell me I'm crazy. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And she's going to be sneaky and delete it. And, oh, I'm crazy. There's no way to prove it. So I screenshotted everything off of her phone onto mine, showed it to her parents, especially to her dad. And, she denied it all at first too. And her dad was sitting there just baffled that, okay, she's even lying about it too, right to his face, denying everything. And then we, she broke down and cried. It's nothing. She's too nice of a person, doesn't know how to say, no, I'm a married woman type thing. And
that's what she said. I'm too nice of a person. I don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll use that one next time. I want to get out of.
So between the summertime up until about, I want to say end of November area, I've noticed certain things, hearing certain things from my oldest son. And, it makes it very hard for me to try to even work on my marriage at this point now, when I can't even full blown trust my wife, what she's doing behind my back, and, what's going on. It makes it very difficult. So,
and this is how many times now at this point that you've caught her?
Twice.
Yep.
And the third time, it was getting known that, okay, she's obviously something's going on with her and this guy at her work. She's now got, at this point, she's got a nice job where she works in dispatch. She's making very good money. And I was very happy and very proud of her. I said, between your job and my job, we're going to be able to save now and be able to get a house and what we wanted.
Yep.
And
they got to blow it.
Exactly. And, it came to light, very quickly that, it was being seen that something's going on with her and this guy from work, that, they can't keep it a secret. People are starting to talk. And not only that, now it's being brought around my kids, and my kids are even saying something to my father-in-law and to me as well. And, the way my wife started talking to me even more disrespectfully. And again, it's triggering me to be disrespectful, because I'm not going to sit there, keep my mouth shut and take it like a little mouse. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm going to stand my ground like a man, and I'm not going to put up with crap. I'm sorry, but I was born in '83. I was raised not to take crap. I was raised to stand up and believe in what I believe in and what is right and what is wrong. And, that's when I got a text message, or I'm sorry, a Facebook message from this woman. And this woman had messaged me and told me that your wife is having an affair with my husband. And she screenshotted me a whole bunch of messages between her and him, because he is definitely not the brightest crayon in the box. Obviously, he leaves his phone open and never deletes anything. So she saw it all. It appalled her. She sent it all to me. I called my wife out on it, and I said, I'm done. I'm over this. I'm done. And, at that point, I was willing to go to counseling. Because I told her, I said, I'm closing the business down. It's not really working out too well. Our marriage is really getting rocky. It takes time to close the business down. So at this point, she was willing to do counseling. And then all of a sudden she changed her mind. She doesn't want to do counseling. She wants a full-blown divorce, and she wants to continue the affair. So, and that happened just literally right before Christmas, where it broke up the whole family pretty bad.
Right. And tell everyone the part about how she was during all of this, while she was sort of leading you on to thinking that we're going to save things, because this is what narcissists do. I mean, they're indecisive people, but yet she would have kept the setup going had you not caught her. The setup is, you're the father figure at home while she goes off and plays with her little toys. but she was using the church to further keep you. We're going to go to church, we're going to pray, and then you had the church involved trying to help save your marriage, correct?
Yeah, I did. I was more involved with the church than she was, just for the simple
Okay.
fact that I took a men's class. It's called swordsman, G-men's class, where you become more of a man of Christ and you become more deeper in being a man of Christ. It teaches you all kinds of things in being a man, not being a child. You put away childish things. You
Right.
act like a man. You take your responsibilities as a man, and and she did the same thing. She did a woman's class
Yeah.
where, and of being it's just like the G-men's thing, where you're a woman of Christ.
Right.
And she had graduated in August, and then a few months later this gets blown up. So even during the time that she is in the women's group, she's doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Leading a double life.
Yeah.
But yeah, just right before Christmas, it blew up all with this, and it really tore up everybody for Christmas. We didn't do Christmas pictures, we didn't do anything, and it was very sad and very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to spend Christmas with my kids, and found out she did a lot of evil things prior or during this, however you want to put it. I had found out that she changed all the name tags on the Christmas presents from mom and dad from mom. Go figure. I found out that we had a vase filled with different kinds of sands in there from our wedding, that her parents and my parents all poured together, where it creates a bond. There's no way to unbreak this bond now. And she threw that in the trash. I found out right after Christmas. She did a lot of things that normal people wouldn't do, regardless in a breakup or a separation or a divorce.
Yeah. 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 When you told me more about this guy that this was happening with, and you show me the pictures, it's unbelievable, the downgrade. And guys, I want you to understand this, because a lot of you take the downgrade personally. Will you say to yourself, this person, like, and we don't want to make it about him, because obviously these are her horrible decisions she's going to have to live with. But people take that personally, like, why would you choose this low life? I mean, doesn't he not have teeth or something? This is another
He's
one
toothless.
A literal toothless wonder. We think it's from drugs. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And I mean, I remember when we first started working together, Matt, you were devastated.
I was a complete wreck. I mean, for a woman that I loved unconditionally, bent over backwards, shared all my secrets with, all my hurts, all my flaws, everything, gave my entire heart to this person. And, she's betrayed me several times, and I still, worked it out because how much I loved her and how much I cared for her. This was the final straw. This was the nail in the coffin, and I just couldn't do anymore. And it just broke me down really hard. From Christmas probably till about right around the end of January, that whole time right there was literally probably the worst part of my life. I want to say the worst part of my life. I was very depressed. I was very angry. I was very hurt. And, to be completely transparent and uncensored, I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I was wanting, retaliation. I was wanting retribution. I was wanting, to have my pain that I was feeling and going through inflicted on them, because pretty much the way I felt is that they're laughing at me and, they're going about their married life, and, there was other days I couldn't go to work. There was times where, I just sat in my apartment and, just bawled my eyes out because, the pain, it's just very traumatizing when someone you think you've known a good chunk of your life betrays you so hard and takes advantage of you, manipulates you, and steals from you. It really changes you to a different person. It makes you also a different person. And, finding out, the things that she has done, like for one, she's taken money out of our joint checking account, putting in a private savings account.
Mhm.
Now, right when I decided enough's enough, I'm done. When she threw the whole divorce thing in my face, and for her having her infidelity affair, I withdrew $600 that was left in the checking account, because that's all that was left in the checking account. Left her $50 to her name in the checking. Now, in the joint, or I'm sorry, in the savings account that she's put money in that I couldn't even have access to, was $5,400. Did not have an access way of getting to it. She got to keep all that money. I got to keep 600.
Unbelievable.
So, and I got stuck with a lot of debt. I got stuck with all the credit card debt because the credit cards were in my name. But, at certain points, I had to use those credit cards in order to float the bills and float the business.
Yep.
Yeah. And, I got stuck with the debt. I got stuck with a lot of debt, more debt than she got stuck with, which is not fair in the state of Florida. The state of Florida knows, and anyone who's ever been through a divorce in the state of Florida knows that when you don't have a prenuptial agreement, state of Florida judge or courts rule, everything is split 50-50 financially, and financial debt to be split equally. That's how it's supposed to go. I didn't get that because we haven't even gone through the divorce yet. We haven't even gone through the proceedings. We haven't even gone through a preliminary yet.
Right.
And during this whole time, since January, she still continues on with the divorce. She calls her toothless wonder now boyfriend. That's what she's claiming it as, her boyfriend. And during this time, knowing the type of person I am, the background that I come from, and what I know and what I'm capable of, and people I know, and my friendship and loyalty to people, could I have done anything? Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. But as the mature Christian man that I am, I decided to sit back, keep quiet, do what I needed to do of my healing. I'm deep in my Bible every day. I was even reading The Love Dare, which is a very good book. It's based off the movie Fireproof. When you're having a rocky time with your wife and you're on the verge of divorce, I even tried that. That didn't even work. And I got, quarter way through the book and it still wasn't working. But, she decided to do all kinds of real crazy things, having people, message me on Facebook, having people threaten me, kid stuff. And to me, I found that very funny. It's like, wow, are you really serious?
Well, this
You're
is
going
the
to stoop
sickest
this
part.
low?
This is the sickest part that they do. They've already hurt you beyond measures. And they know you're hurting. And this is when they come in and they kick you when you're down. And they pull stunts you can't even believe they're capable of, saying horrible things about you, calling you names. I mean, the list goes on, and you're thinking, what did I even do to deserve this? And you know what it is, Matt? You know what it is? It's like, they're just like, how dare you figure me out and walk away and not, and not be bothering with me and be up my butt and chasing me and all this stuff. It's so sick. It's so sick.
Oh, it is. It's horrifying. And not only that, Tracy, like one of the things, because I never was really familiar with narcissistic people or narcissistic behavior, but for the last 5-6 months now, I've literally gotten so educated so very well in narcissistic behavior, narcissistic people, and seeing the traits that my wife was doing. She might as well have an imprint tattoo on her forehead that says narcissist. I found out through the grapevines, I've seen it through being told by people, how much she is literally just blaspheming my name, and that I am this horrible, wretchable, evil person I might as well be the spawn of Satan type thing.
Yeah.
And she is Miss Innocent, sunflowers.
Yeah, but
and it's like, wow, and you hold no responsibility in it.
The funniest part is the only people that believe them are the people that are just like them, on the same, like her boyfriend, Toothless Wonder there. Like, nobody believes them. Her own family is on your side. I mean, what does that tell you?
Exactly. And that should tell a lot of people a lot of things. When I have my own mother and father-in-law and my sister-in-laws literally standing by my side in what's going on.
Which is very, very, very rare, you guys that are listening. A lot of
Exactly.
times the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And a lot of times all of a sudden the family can just all of a sudden just split on you out of left field because the blood is thicker than water type deal. And you're not getting that. So that's a pretty huge indicator. Obviously, you know your character. Your friends through your whole life know your character. The people you
Mhm.
worked around know your character. The people in the church know your character. Oh yeah, why don't
Absolutely.
you tell everybody about that one?
Oh yeah. Well, my wife has not been in the church for quite a while. Probably, I want to say 7 months, give or take, up until about Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday, she decided to bring Toothless Wonder to church, and again, she's now this is and she's a member of the church too. She's bringing him to church, the man that she had an affair with, to our church. And since then, a couple of times. And this past Mother's Day, she brought him again. And I found that very appalling, very disrespectful, and very embarrassing. And even my family did, and even my in-laws did, where it's now got everyone upset. So I decided to make a phone call to the church. I've talked to one of the men in my men's group at the church, and who happens to be a very high deacon in the church. And they're meeting with the senior pastor of the church. They're meeting with the marriage counselor pastor and several other deacons, and having her come in Friday and telling her pretty much she's not welcomed at the church due to her behaviors of what she is doing, and that it's not of God and it's not right, and it goes against their morals and standards of what she's doing.
Good.
So she will be most likely banned from the church.
Good. It's about time that churches do things like this and hold people accountable to what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. And I even made it to a point. I said it to him. I said, listen, if something is not taken into action here with the church, then I will bring it to the higher council of the church, which is outside of the church. That's the higher, part of the church, where you have senior pastors that get together and have a council meeting. I will bring it to their attention if I have to, that the church is allowing this, and she's a member, and she's bringing a man that she's had an affair with to the church like it's okay.
Guys,
So
people
I
that
don't
are
think the church
listening,
wants that. So they're going to take the action in two ways it goes about it. One, they ban her completely. You're not welcome to the church. Or B, you're not going to be allowed to come to the church for a while, but you definitely can't bring him.
this is how it's supposed to be. For those of you watching that are still part of a church or congregation, this is how things need to be. This is exactly, you did the right thing by saying, hey, listen up. I didn't take this men's group underneath you people and come here and have the support system and read everything that's written in the Bible for this stuff to be allowed. That's not what this is all about. Like,
Exactly. And how can the church allow a woman, a married woman, to have an affair, to bring that guy that she's had an affair with to church and act as if they're a family? And there's the husband over there. That's not right. And that's literally very uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's very uncomfortable, and it's very unease too
it's
of how a
disturbing.
church could allow that to happen.
Well, I'm
So
really proud of you for doing that and for holding them accountable, because that's the way it should be in churches.
absolutely,
When you see things that are not right,
absolutely.
you need to point it out, because it's not right what people get away with in the church, and they have these positions apparently for a reason, and it's like, we're supposed to be holding people accountable.
Oh, absolutely. I hold myself accountable for, things that I failed in my marriage, which is nothing that couldn't ever be fixed,
Right.
But regardless of anything, regardless in any marriage or any relationship, does not matter. Arguing, fighting, whatever it may be, those are all fixable things.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, when you step outside the marriage, that's unforgivable. I
that's right.
mean, you have to forgive that person, yes, but that is the worst thing you could do.
Yep.
That's the worst thing you can do. Hey, if things are not working out, you've tried everything, you went down the right step procedures and trying to make it work, and then you end it the right way, not lying and not cheating and not manipulating, going behind someone's back and having your fling on the side. Now
Yep.
you're messing with people's emotions. Now you're messing with people's feelings. And not only
And now
that,
you're messing with
sometimes
God.
you don't know how that's, yeah, well, that too. But in another sense, Tracy, is you're messing with someone's emotions and feelings that you don't know what's going to be the outcome of that. You could send somebody completely off the deep end,
That's right.
and I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You could send someone into a clinical depression or possible suicidal thoughts, or them inflicting pain and hurting somebody else fatally.
Yes.
It's the truth. It's,
Yes.
um, to give an example, if my wife had she did cheat on me, that could have set me off into a rage where I ended up fatally hurting both of them.
Right.
You don't know what someone's mentally thinking
Yeah.
and going through at that time, and how they're digesting it and how they're going to go about it. That's why you need, if you're not in love with someone, you've tried everything at the right steps, you need to end it the right way, not inflict as much pain as humanly possible, and crushing them to the point where you're going to send them into a complete tailspin. That's
Well, we
not the
all
way you
know
do
that
it.
this is what the narcissist does. This is why this is so awful. I want to ask you, Matt, can you tell uh the men out there that are watching and that might be thinking about getting some help, talking to someone, or basically what it's going to look like when you get out? Because I want to state this for the record. I know I have a lot of male subscribers out there that, number one, are afraid to come get some help and get some therapy and talk to somebody about this. And number two, they're so petrified to take that leap and be alone. And it's petrifies them. And I know that you know how that feels. So if you could walk them through what it's going to look like, but yet how far you've come. I mean, this is just, you're one of those examples to use.
Um, I mean, well, basically, there is no shame in ever getting any type of help. For a lot of men out there, I know it's a pride thing. You feel like you're going to be made fun of by, your friends or your coworkers. Ignore that crap. That's just guy crap. And truthfully, it's nobody else's business. That's your personal business. There's no shame in wanting to get, hey, I'm dealing with something, it's really eating me alive. I need to talk to somebody, and that's the first thing you need to do, is go and talk with somebody. It does help. Venting it out and getting it out there with somebody once, twice, 3 times a week, that's healthy. You need to do that, because if you don't and you bottle it all up, you're putting yourself up for an explosion of pain, and that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
And yes, for a period of time, I was hurt, I was depressed, I was angry. I had those feelings of like, I'm not going to date anymore. I'm not going to get back out there. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, lock myself and be a hermit in my house. And, after a while, and again, this was probably about a month, 2 weeks, month and a half, give or take, and again, doing my sessions with you, and also going to church and getting deeper in the word and everything. I went before my pastor, and I said, enough's enough. I don't want this pain on my heart anymore. I don't want this anxiety. And I just gave it all at the altar and had my pastor pray over me. And that day, as I'm driving back on the West Palm, I said, you know what? I'm going to start enjoying me for me. You know what? She wants to pull chalk. She wants to do this. Fine. Her loss. And not only that, I'm sitting there saying to myself, what did I realistically do wrong here?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. Yes, I made my mistakes in my marriage, but nothing to the serious point of going outside of my marriage, stealing from my wife, stealing from my kids. I did everything the best that I could to my ability.
Yeah.
So you know what? If you want to pull chalk, hey, I'm not gonna stop and ruin my life. And I've been getting myself back out there, and truthfully, I've been enjoying every minute of it. On the weekends when I'm not working, I'm out there golfing with friends, having a great time, having a couple beers, playing golf, going out shooting pool with other friends. I'm going to concerts, I'm going to the beach. I'm enjoying the things in life. I'm getting out there. It's getting off my mind. I'm surrounding myself with positive people. I'm surrounding myself with good energy, good vibes, and good times and happy times.
Yes.
And not only that, on the weekend, sometimes I'm not doing that every single weekend, but there's weekends that, hey, I don't want to go out. I feel like just sleeping in. I don't have to get woken up at the crack of dawn and start, having to go mow the yard and have to go run to the grocery store and then go do all the laundry and fix this and fix that and be, the house maintenance man. I can sleep in,
Yep.
and not have to worry about it and actually enjoy it. As a single man now, and bachelor, should I say, and plus the way I've always kept my house very well clean. So I don't have to clean, every single day. I don't have to worry about it. So I wake up on a Saturday morning. Hey, I ain't got anything to do. I'll just lounge here and watch TV all day if I want to. Take my dog to the park, have a good time.
Yep.
And, enjoy the finer things in life, which I have been doing. There's always something going on around here, always something going on. So each week, each weekend has gotten better and better every time. And not only that, I have put myself out there where, again, because I'm not legally divorced yet, but I've also, again, as a Christian man, I've also asked, is it okay for me to engage in having, dinner with another woman, having the comforts and company of another woman. And they said, as long as you're not engaging in sexual congress with the woman, as long as you're not, doing things that you shouldn't be doing, you're fine to do that. You can enjoy dinner with the opposite sex. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as that's all it is. And truthfully, that's all I've done. I've gone on probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 dates already, just getting myself out there and just, I'm not engaging in, wanting to date really, because at the same time, I'm still going through the healing and everything, but, I also keep my guard up.
That's right. Yeah. And I think it's important for a lot of the men listening out there, like a lot of times you need to heal because you're going to be afraid that you're going to meet somebody similar again. What you just went through is catastrophic. And then to get to this point, it really is to watch your progress through the months has been amazing for me because, you're kind of in a newer area too. Like you didn't have all your
Yes.
supports where you're at, and you're just going out there and making friends, sitting down for lunch, having a meal, talking to people. It's hard at first, but then it gets easier and easier, doesn't it? Because I know a lot of
It
people be
does.
like, I don't have any supports. Like she's left. A lot of times the female narcissist will completely isolate you from like having a life outside of the family and them. And then you have to like start from scratch. But you're really encouraging to hear this, Matt, because you did it. You did it and you're still continuing to do it. And I've been watching you week to week just get lighter and lighter and lighter in your spirit, and just happier and more positive, and just understanding and comprehending what just happened here, and looking at the positives, like, yeah, look at that. Like, I don't
Oh,
remember
absolutely. And, and not only that, Tracy, you know, it's been a while since I've actually cried, again, as a man, we all have things that really, hurt us really bad, where it tears us up and everything. And of course, you always have that woman that you were married to or were involved with that did this to you, that hurt you really bad. That's going to make you cry. You can't sit here and deny it. Oh, I'm a tough guy, I've never cried. Yeah, right. Um,
yeah.
the last time I cried was probably, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago. I can't cry now, really. I really can't at this point,
Yeah.
because the more and more I've put myself out there and outside, going for a walk, going to the gym, going golfing with my friends, going and shooting pool with a couple of buddies, going and watching a game or something, a hockey game or a baseball game, going to the park with my dog, going out to the woods with my buddies and everything, and going four-wheeling and everything, getting my mind off of things and putting myself in things that I didn't have the opportunity to do while I was married, because I was always constantly working, always constantly taking care of my family. And now I'm putting myself in the position because, hey, I don't have those responsibilities anymore.
Yeah.
So by doing that has gotten me to the point where I can enjoy life. And as you continue to do that and keep going, you're going to find it very easier to keep doing that and keep putting yourself back out there, to the point where, hey, next thing you know, you're back on the block and saying, hey, I want to start definitely dating again. Now, one of the things is that while I've been doing all this, and also getting myself very familiar with the narcissistic behavior and traits, just seeing how people act, seeing how they talk about themselves, seeing, how they carry themselves, how they present themselves, kind of gives me a little bit of an indicator. And, not only that, it should make you aware, any guy, get familiar with the narcissistic traits and behavior. So if you do decide to get back out there and do decide to start dating, take it very slow. There is no need to rush into a relationship right away. And the way I would say it, enjoy being single while you can.
Yep.
Take full advantage of being a happy single man, enjoying the finer things in life. Because guess what? When you get back into a relationship, chances are you're going to be back into that whole relationship of doing couples things and doing couple stuff, doing stuff around the house, not going to be able to spend time with your buddies anymore. And then when you get married and doing the whole family thing, exactly, you're going to be not having that opportunity that you could have had while being single. Take as much time as you need. Could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years, could be 4 years. All depends on you and your healing. For me, I don't have a set date of, okay, I'm going to give myself till, December 2024, and then I want to start dating again. I am letting it take its course, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it that I can.
Amen. I love it, Matt. I'm just so proud of you and all that you've been able to accomplish and all the hurdles you got through. The time of year it was, everything. I mean, to see you now, it's like looking at a completely different person. And I mean that,
Thank you.
like mentally, physically, everything. You can just see that you've come a very long way in your healing journey and your and your spiritual journey as well. And
Absolutely.
it's
And
so important.
I have you to thank for that. I have my job to thank for that, because my high energy job, constantly on my feet, constantly moving, constantly doing all kinds of things to keep me occupied, and having the word of God, and also having the support that I have from my friends, from my family, and the encouragement that I have and the motivation that I have. And just the biggest thing that motivates me is saying to myself when I get up every morning and do my morning routine. I look in the mirror, and I look in the morning every day, and I say to myself, this is my day, no one is taking it away from me.
Amen. Amen.
And that's what you got to say to yourself.
Yes. It's no longer about giving your emotions to other people. They don't get to control your emotions. Yep.
No.
The last time I
And
was
that's
hurt,
the thing.
yeah, the last time I was hurt, my heart broke in two. And I remember, like, the old trees, probably that would have bothered me for quite some time. It would have went on for a long time. And I had that same mantra in my head, like, wait a second, like, I didn't just do 4 years worth of healing to be dealing with this. Like this is my day, these are my emotions, and I was just over it, just completely over it. Like, this is just ridiculous. And it's going to happen for you guys too out there that are listening. You're not going to give yourself so freely over to somebody else to let them dictate the kind of day you're going to have or the kind of emotions you're going to experience. And many of you might think, well, easier said than done. No, and this comes with, I do believe, don't you believe, Matt, it comes with being alone. You got to be alone for
It
some time.
does.
You got to get to know yourself again. You got to get to know your likes and dislikes. You got to get to be comfortable being lonely, or being, finding things to occupy your time. And,
Oh yeah, there's a fine difference between being alone and being lonely. There's a
amen.
fine difference between of wanting to be alone and not wanting to be alone. There's a huge fine line between that. And for a while I did have that for a little bit too, where I didn't want to be around anybody. I just wanted to have my own alone time. I did not talk to anybody at all, not even my own mother. I just blocked out the whole world completely. I took a few days even off of work, and still for about 2 weeks I didn't talk to anybody. I was going back to work, but I practically just didn't want to be bothered by anybody. Wasn't even on social media. Just would come home, walk my dog, relax, watch some TV, just lay here with my thoughts, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And that was also a moment of clarity as well, where that's really motivated me even more to, enjoy life, where to, get out there and enjoy the finer things in life before it's too late.
Amen. Exactly. And I want all the men that are watching to understand exactly what Matt's saying. a lot of you have this misconception that you're going to be alone. And we are here to tell you that there is nothing more alone than being with a narcissist. You're not going to feel like that. It's a different kind of well, I'm talking about being lonely. It's a different kind of feeling to be alone than to be lonely, just as Matt said. It's completely different. And don't let the devil get these thoughts in your head that, oh my goodness, like I can't be alone. Like that would be horrible. Who's who am I going to spend my time with? A lot of people stay because they just want somebody to spend time with and putz around with. It's
exactly. And that's the thing, especially the thing with a narcissist is they jump from one relationship to another. They can't even ever be alone. They have to be with somebody continuously. They have to have that attention. They have to have that want and desire. My wife even said it to some guy on Facebook that I knew and everything, that showed me the message. Hey, if someone's not going to give me the attention and affection that I need and want, then someone else will give it and I'll take it. That's a narcissist right there and what they're saying. And, there's a lot of guys out there that, don't want to leave the narcissist because they feel so happy and blah, 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 blah. And they feel safe and secure there. You're just denying the inevitable, and you're just prolonging the worst pain that is about to come. And if you don't get out of that relationship soon, I promise you're going to regret it. I say to myself every day, had I did not find this out about it, I did not do anything about it, and we bought a house, or we ended up even having our own child together, then that would have been the most devastating thing.
Yes.
If I did not catch it sooner, the most devastating things could have happened, and that would be even more uglier. Yeah. So, I thank God every day, especially for that, of me seeing this prior to anything going further. And if there's guys out there that are in a relationship right now with a narcissist, cut it off while you have the opportunity. Yes, it's going to be painful. Yes, it's going to suck. Yes, it's going to hurt. That's a part of life. That's a part of our nature and everything. But you will heal from it. I promise you, because, I didn't think I would heal from this. This is a woman that I had spent a decade with, and I didn't think I would heal from it. And from the time that it happened to where I'm at right now, I'm telling you right now, you will heal from it. Yes, it all takes time. Everyone is different in their own way of dealing with it, with the pain and the healing. But I can rest assured you will heal from it. You just got to take that leap and do it, and want to do it, and say, hey, enough's enough. Enough's enough of the manipulation, the lies, the abuse, the cheating, the stealing, all of it. I mean, if that's something you enjoy and want and love being beaten on and love being manipulated and cheated on, then I don't know what to tell you. I feel sorry for you, and I pray to God one day that you break away. But guys that are going, or just getting out of it, I'm telling you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, it is painful. Yes, it is long. It is it is ups and downs. It's like being on a roller coaster. But how you go through this defines your character and makes you stronger. And as you're coming through this, is going to make you stronger in the end. And not only that, obviously God has pulled you out from this relationship for one reason and one reason only. That's not the person he wants you with. He's got you pretty much prepared for the woman down the road that he's got you with.
Yes, exactly. And I believe for those of you that are spiritual and do believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I truly believe that he knows our hearts, and he knows when we've learned the lesson. We've learned about boundaries. We've learned about sticking up for ourselves. There's something in it that we learned. And then what he does is he takes you out of that marriage, because it's no longer a marriage when somebody goes outside. It's over. And the Lord knows that. And he's going to remove you, and he's going to put, yourself in a path that's going to allow you to have a really good life, and a better life than you can even imagine that you had. Yeah, you're going to feel like you have to start over. But in essence, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I know in a few years' time, you'll probably be saying the same thing if you're already not,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you're coming out of it and you're going through this, it's a rediscovery of yourself. somewhere along the way, something has happened to you where, okay, now it's time. You didn't do anything wrong. The other person did. And now it's time for you to rediscover yourself and rekindle that fire that you once had and that fulfillment in life. And not only that, it's everything is always a learning lesson. I never look at anything as a regret. Everything in life is always a learning lesson. Okay, what did I do in my first marriage? What went wrong in my first marriage? Blah, 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 blah. That's all learning lesson to get you prepared for what is next for you in your next chapter of life. That's what it is.
Yep, exactly. 100%. Well, Matt, I can't thank you enough for coming on here to do this. Not only, I'm sure it felt cathartic to be able to have the opportunity to tell your story like this, because I remember
Yeah.
when I first did it, it felt pretty cathartic. Like you didn't have anybody over your shoulder telling you, no, that's not the way it went. Like it's a good thing that you did. And also the amount of people you're able to help by coming on the channel. I was telling you, a lot of the males I work with, they want nothing to do with coming on here because, it's very private. People want to stay private with this thing, but you took the courage and the leap today to come forward. And this is helping so many people around the globe. And we can't thank you enough.
You got it. Oh, absolutely. And not only that, the more, like I said, the more you vent, the more you get it off your chest, the more you get it out in the open and everything, the better off you're going to feel. It's going to feel like a weight being lifted off of you. And not only that, getting, what someone has done to you and hurt you out there. And not only that, it makes them aware of the potentially possibly running into that person. I don't know how many people live in the Bay Area that are listening or watching in on this, but okay, hey, this person, now if I ever run it, oh, okay, I heard about you. It makes them aware of like actual narcissists, of who they are and everything, because in the beginning, yes, you don't see the narcissist in them. You don't see any of that. It's all, you're practically hitting the head with love and everything. And you're thinking this is your soulmate and you're going to have a family and all that. And then you don't really see the true colors till years down the road, until you start to like question things here. And you're starting to like, this is not the person I fell in love with. This is not the person that I know. They're acting completely different. And now you're seeing the real true self, themselves and everything. The way I look at a narcissist is like an onion. Pull back a layer at a time, and you're going to get to their core eventually and see who their real feelings are.
Yes. Amen, Matt. Thank you so very much. And
no problem.
I know when I hit the stop recording, I think it's gonna shut you off. So I will I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good, Tracy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and hey, leave some comments for Matt down below, and so that if he sees them, he can answer them for you, or or anything you wanted to say, anything that you relate to in this video. And yes, as always, I'm Trace Face, and this is Matt, and it is time we face the truth together.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.